I pushed the wrong one. There's a burp one. There's a that's funny. Welcome to the show. So I'm really excited. We are doing Epic Sports Rock. So I am really happy about this because I'm a guitarist, love just doing sports stuff, love doing rock stuff. It's so easy, just big riffs, big drums, bass, and at the end of the day, it's done. You can do them all day long, and I like that. And the good thing about the good thing about rock, trying to get placement wise, is there going to be sports anywhere in the future? Absolutely. People are going to be they've been doing sports since forever. And so if they're going to continually doing sports, they're going to want rock, something high energy, something big, but it kind of, it's constantly always morphing. And so there was kind of like a hybrid kind of rock that's been around for a little while, the last few months, or the last few years. And so that's more of the orchestral, like just total, and you don't have as much guitars. And so what I'm doing is kind of a bit of a blend into not quite the full orchestral. It's more heavily based on electric guitars, but it has strings and it has the big epic percussion. So those are the big elements you're going to see. And I've already recorded a bunch of stuff. And the reason why I kind of have to record before the live Zoom is because if I'm pushing anything like doing vocals or acoustic guitars or any recording, Zoom doesn't like it when you're doing that live. So until they catch up, there'll be too many issues, too much latency, stuff, all that. So anyway, so that's the deal with that. But let's go ahead and dive in. And I'm going to be watching this chat. So if you guys have any questions, what plugins are? What did you do there? What was going on there? Jump in because I want to help you guys. And let's dive in. Share the screen. Share the sound. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can hear this. Good, okay. What about now? Okay, so I guess that means I need to come through. I got to come through the right playback channel. All right. Loading. All right, here we go. So let me know if you can hear it now. No? All right, I want to make sure we can get some good clear sound here. Oh, hang on. I got to share the screen, make sure to share the sound source. All right, cool. We are in business. All right, okay. So you guys already heard there's a bunch of electric guitar riffs there. So let me just dive in, show you what I've got here, and then and kind of some of the elements of why I kind of got. I'll just give you kind of like summary because you can go back and watch the whole video when I'm actually talking through and saying, I think I'll do this, I think I'll do that, and all that kind of thing. So from this top here, I've got some drums in here, so we'll just solo those. We got some drums in there. We got some a loopy kind of thing, big percussive loop thing. And we got another loop thing. Let me get these headphones on. And then we have what's this one here? This is the big percussive. And the program I'm using for that is huge. It's called Damage 2. It just kind of came out, and I'm still exploring it myself. But it has those huge big tom fills. Like you just hear it. That's what you hear when you go to see the Batman trailer or Superman or Star Wars, like the big blockbuster movies. That's the kind of sound, that big distorted thing. So that's part of the epic sound, having that. And all I've got here is a couple of just big toms. You can see it in the orange here. That's really big sound there. And then I got electric guitar. Very simple, just big rock stuff. We build a little bit more as we go through it, and then we got strings. And what I'm using for strings is Spitfires. Spitfires just got some great stuff, and I'm only just exploring their strings they have here. But they have like a bunch of packs for like $29, and you can get like this one's called Epic Strings. So it just sounds great. It sounds really big. So and so forth. So then we got another string down here, another another string, and it's doing a more ostinato. And then I just doubled that with a viola, another instrument. I really like Chris Hines stuff. He's really good. He's got a lot. It sounds very real. I really like his stuff. I got emotional violin by him. Emotional. I think it's got emotional cello. Let me see down here that I really like. Where is that? Somewhere here. Oh no, that's emotional piano. There it is, emotional cello, which is beautiful as well. But I've already got a low stuff happening to the strings, so I didn't want any more low stuff. And especially with this big epic stuff, those big percussive, I want to make sure that's got a lot of room down the low end to come in and just really hit hard. There's nothing fighting there. So this violin's this viola's just copying the same as what the other one's doing. All right, so let's go ahead and play the whole track, what I've got. As I said yesterday or a couple of days ago when I did this, I just threw the elements in there, and now we're going to go ahead and edit it, piece it together. I'm going to add some other bells and whistles and some other reverse stuff that we need to do, and some big swells, and just give it those extra little bits. But you'll hear it. So let's have a listen. First time I've heard it too in a few days. That actually sounded great with that little rah at the end. It's like that was a mistake, like whatever that rah, electric guitar kind of ringing out. I think it's here. That's actually a mistake. So that's where it cuts off, but I really, really like that. So I'm actually going to keep that in for now and just hear what that would sound in the mix. Now that's a total mistake. Let me one more time. That is way cool. That's the best mistake I've made in a little while. I like that. Anyway, so okay, so let's now I'm just going to go ahead and let me show you a couple. How didgeridoo feel? Yeah, exactly like that. Ambience in the background. Something's going on. So I'll just show you a couple of these electric guitar parts real quick, which just kind of, you can kind of feel everything just keeps building, and that's what you want with these big epic ones. You know, it's got to be epic. It's got to go somewhere. It can't be just a nice rounded track. It's got to go up to this big crescendo. So I added this in here. So, and then I just put a bunch of reverb on it because I don't really want the actual individual takes. And if you can have a look at the grid, it's actually not very tight. It's not super tight. These actually should be right on each one. Like that should be there, I think, and this has got to be here. You know, so it's not really actually on the grid, but that's okay because I'm washing it out with the reverb, and I think that it just gives it that sound. You can hear it as it plays. All right, so let's go ahead and add those stabs at the end with, I need some bass. There's no bass, no kicks going. Don't, it's nothing on the low end there. So I just copied this over. Let's dive in and edit that. So I don't want any of those. Let me move it down so I can see where the others are. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we obviously need some cymbals on that too. That's it. I'm actually going to add some other cymbals on top of that with a different program through up here. I think it's up here. Yeah, the percussion. Spitfire has some organic percussion that has some really nice cymbals that are really nice too. Let me just mute a few people there. All right. Okay, so yes, let's keep going. Oh, thanks Jamie for posting that. That's the first part one. So yeah, everyone can watch that after you've done this one. So, okay, let's keep going. Now I'm going to tighten up these electric guitars. They need to be tightened up. Now I do like the silence in between there. I zoom right in and I can see noise there, and I don't want to do that. I just want to keep this super clean. So I'm just gonna tighten all that up really tight. It was a little early. All right, so what I can do then, and you just highlight all these, and if you got the shortcut, you can just fade all those ends at the same time. So that's why I didn't cut those little bits, but you got to make sure those edits aren't going to pop later. That might be a little early though. All right, so here's another shortcut here that what I can do here is a little trick that you can just use polyrhythmatic, and you can actually quantize that, make it super easy. I think that's right. Yep. We'll do the same with this one. It's kind of like time. It is. I think it is time. It's called time stretching, to be exact. Just moving around, but it actually cuts it and fades it as well. So it's really cool. All right, so that should be tight now. Cool. All right, so then we go over here. And we're gonna add that. I guess that's not going to work because that's actually a different note. So let me. Okay, so nothing. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy the first part because I already know it's going to be just a little quicker as well. So, and it's very standard. It's nothing. It's going to be blending into the mix. So. All right, so we got to make sure these are tight. Who played those? Gotta make sure we get them in time. So what I'm doing there is I'm just getting rid of some of those little noises. We don't want any of that. We're just cleaning this right up. So we've got to make sure this ending's tight. Let's move that in time there. Yeah, I love that ending. All right, cool. So let's just keep cleaning. I think the electrics are nearly clean now, nearly done. All right, so there's one little thing. We need some reverse stuff, and I like that hung out guitar there. So I'm actually going to just double that and reverse it. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, that ending's like, don't. It has to, with these epic ones, it has to end big. It has to be this big bang, don't. You can't just finish off. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I'm going to copy these. And then we are going to reverse them. Where's my reverse? There it is. That could be cool. Let's make sure that stops right on. That might even work again later on. Let's see. That might even work later on as well. Let's turn down a little bit. All right, so now we need a few more swells, and we're missing some cymbals, I think. This, and I just want to clean things up a little. So let's get rid of that spare that I did when I recorded. Let's just hide it, and let's see if these two. This is coming on a mono track. That might work down here. I just want to clean things up a little. That might work down here. And then these guys should be fine. That's cool. Okay, cool. So now let's have a look. I want to do some reverse stuff. But before I do, let me just have a listen to some Ear Candy. If you go to APM, hybrid sports rock, that has a lot of stabs and stuff. So let's just have a listen to a couple of tracks here. We're listening for Ear Candy. I like that. That kind of had a filter on it. I might try something like that on the filter on maybe those dun, 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 dun. Yeah, good question, Sandy. So basically what the Ear Candy is bells and whistles, like the little extra stuff. Like so right now I'm talking about instead of just doing a plain this part in the song, and you'll hear it as we do it, instead of just doing a dun 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 like this part here. Which is fine. It's kind of the arrangement of it. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a filter on it, a filter effect on it. So you'll hear the difference. And this is kind of like what I would call Ear Candy. Put the electrics. We're just going to filter out the top of it, or maybe make it go, maybe I'll go high. Let's see. Let's start there and we'll just go low filter. What are we doing here? We want to do this button, go the frequency of the high parts. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we are going to move this. There's my so we're changing something different, but I actually want it the other way. And we need those electric guitar, distortion on it. So, and then we're going to do some reverse cymbals. We're going to do some just the added little stuff. The best way I'd probably describe Ear Candy is you got your cake, which is your main, that's your cake, chocolate cake, whatever it is. Then you have your icing on top, which is maybe more the mastering and the some of the other stuff. But then you could have like, I don't know, little choc chips or little bits of candy or sprinkles or something on it to give it that ear candy. And that's what kind of I would describe it as. So let's have a look at, where's my electric guitars? Electric, where are you? There you are. Let's just go with let's do this here. That's okay. So I don't want to do it that extreme though. Yeah, I think that's cool. We'll see how that goes in the mix. Now I don't want it to cherry ripple in a black forest. Yeah, very nice. Now I'm getting hungry. So I want to make sure that we don't have any low ends in this, because I want this to be kind of thinner, because then when we go into it, it's going to feel like it's even bigger. It's going to have that low end kind of really kick in. So I want to keep this kind of a bit thinner. Probably even thinner. So then when it kicks in, it's just going to have that big, it's just going to hit back in real big. Okay, cool. So let's keep going with our ear candy. I need to do some reverse stuff. So not reverse, I should say swells. Now I have a really cool, I think it's actually called swells. Let's just copy this. And we're going to do swells. Oh, actually, it is on the percussive. It's just in here. There it is. Let's play some of these. There's a lot of low stuff in there. I don't know if I want that low stuff. Maybe metal come up. I like that. I'm just going to put that down. And so what I do sometimes when if I hear a sound I like, but I'm still looking for another sound, I would just grab that as an audio file, just drag it down, and it's there. I got it. So now I'll use that later on as one of my gongs or one of my cymbals. But I'm still looking for something kind of crescendo. I like both of those. Oh, that didn't even record. I have to find them. Sometimes with cymbals and swells, I prefer to see the audio, because it's a lot easier for me to see than just a MIDI line. I can't see what it's actually doing. I can see here what it's actually doing, and I can move these around to what I want. So I want these towards the end a lot more, but we'll come back. I'm just liking the sound of those, so we're not going to just find them yet. Good question, Scott. Did you record your guitars clean with an effect in the box, or did you mic and amp? What is making your guitar tone? Great question. No, I don't. I only have a couple of amps. I think I got one little practice amp, and I sold my other amp. So all of my stuff is in the box. So I use, as Peter was saying, CLA guitars. I've been using them for, I don't know, 4 years, maybe 5 years, maybe. It's just so good. Maybe 6 years ago, I sold one of my last good amp. But no, yeah, it just makes everything so easy. So I run into a Shadow Hills preamp. It's the Monogamma, which is pretty nice. I also like the Great River stuff. So it's got whatever it has. I like to have those big irons in them that goes through a transformer. So anyway, we go into that, and then that just goes into the box. So it goes into the converter, and that's it. So dry by themselves, they sound like this. Very different. So yes, CLA guitar. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's by Waves. So Waves CLA, which is Chris Lord Alge. That's what that means. Yep, Alge. Yep, that's it. So but yeah, that's how I kind of use the guitars. As a guitarist, I've gone through many different amps, and always been trying to dial in that tone. And I tell you what, Chris Lord Alge, he's done a lot of rock tracks. He's got great tone. It sounds great, and I really trust my ears when it comes to guitars. So I'm loving it. And I used a Telecaster with a mini humbucker, Seymour Duncan in the bridge. Yeah, mini humbucker in the bridge, and it's just big. Yeah, Slate has some nice stuff. Yeah, I've heard that. I did have the Slate collection, whatever you call it, like their subscription and access to all this stuff. And I don't know, I just didn't. I didn't really, honestly, I didn't really dive into how good it, like how I know it probably could have been so much better. I just love this sound. So it's kind of like, I'm not sick of it. One day I will be sick of it, and I'm sure of it, and I'll want to have a different sound. But gosh, I love this for the rock stuff. And that's my tone, I guess. that's my sound. And I will get sick of it probably eventually, and then I'll want some different sounds. But right now I'm still going strong 5 or 6 years later. But anyway, so let's keep going. So we're still looking for those a swell. So let's go back over here now. I am going to see if there is a swell here. I don't want anything that's low. I want something high, like a reverse cymbal or something. Earthquake hits. I'm still not hearing those swells. I might just go to a different place to get those swells that I'm hearing in my head. So let's have a look at some earthquake hits. Yeah, too much bass in those. Good question. You know what, June? Actually, that's what I was thinking of. I was wondering where my swells were. And Damage has some killer swells. Thank you for that. Where is my contact there? Yes, they have some awesome swells. There it is. Isn't Kit Designer? I'm trying to forget where it is. I don't think it's Kit Designer. Ensemble Designer. Yeah, I can't find it. Swells. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to. There's so many different ways to get there. Let's go ahead and do it the old school way, which so I don't get too bogged down in trying to find that. I'm just going to go over here to Splice and just do swells. Just see what comes up. Yeah, Peter, you said rises. Yeah, let's look up rises because that could be better too. That's pretty cool. I like that. Let's do I already have that? I don't know. I think I already have it. Let me drag that one in there. There we go. You can go in there. All right, where is, let's find some more. That's cool. I don't know what key that is. It might tell me, but I might have to change the key, but that was cool. Let's do epic rises, so it comes up. That's cool. Get that one. That was a good one. All right, cool. Let's start off with that, and we'll come back to that if we want to. All right, cool. So I think it was this big impact one. Let's add a few of those. I might even reverse that as well. And just see if we come up with it. There's something after that hit which I don't like. It's like down. Yeah, that first part, I like it, but let's see if this works. Yeah, I like that thing, but there's like an echo on after it. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah, that last hit. That's what we want. We don't want that extra little bit, whatever that. So let's copy that over there. And let me see if those will go at the beginning. But are there any small? I think that'll be beautiful in there. It's just like, well, not beautiful, but it'll be like that, like nice ambient kind of something in there. Okay. I think those are too late. Yeah, I think that's it. That we don't want that in there. I want that clean. I want that to be a clean stop. And then also here, I want something's happening here. Oh, it's the delay on these. I don't want any delay on that. Maybe no reverb either. Let's see. All right, cool. What else we got here? That's another great ear candy in there. I might even put that at the beginning somewhere. Maybe not there, but something else. Oh, I forgot to turn that guitar back on. Maybe less fade on it. Let's just say that. These guys might be a little too loud. Let me just pull them down. My drums. All right, now we're missing a big kick. We need a big kick in here. I don't think we're losing that kick. So I'm actually just going to find a kick and add it manually. Just type epic kick. See what comes up. Oh, that's pretty nice. I think I like that second one better, but let's have a listen and see how that sounds. Okay. See if it comes up. Did I not purchase it or something? It disappeared on me. Epic kick. Oh yeah, here we go. Good question, Peter. So no bass line to give space to the epic percussion. No, and no melody. As you expect, the commentary would go over that. So Yes. So let's go. Yeah. So there's no bass, and I talk about that in the first video, because I want that. Normally in a rock track, you would have bass, electric guitars, and drums, but in this case, I'm doing that big epic percussion. If I do bass, I really think there's going to be a lot of fighting going on, and so I've got some kind of lower cellos that are kind of getting in that territory. But I want to save 60 hertz and those frequencies real for those big, the big tom fills, and I think that's going to be a lot easier and in the mixing stage. And then, yeah, there's no clear melody with this because it would get in the way. And a lot of the time, I do write with a melody. And so, if they did ask for it, because sometimes the publishers will ask for, we want a version without a melody, I would actually export the version without the last little parts, the epic. The guitars that are doing all that high stuff, this stuff up here. So I would call that the melody, and I would mute that out if they wanted a non-melody version. But this song, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's there's commentary is going to be coming over it, and you're going to have all those guys, football matches or whatever. Everything's going to be, it's just going to be moving, and a melody will probably just get in the way. And it really doesn't need it for this one. And then you said no foot stomps, claps, or vocal chants to hint at the crowd ruckish to come. No. Sometimes when it comes to some of that ear candy, like crowds or let's just say birds, or old record sounds, or any of that ambient sound that they can actually use in folio, don't do it. Just give the rock track, let it speak for itself, and then they can actually add the crowds in, and then they can add it when they want, where the crowd, maybe someone finally throws the ball, that great touchdown or something, they can add a crowd in there or anything like that. So I often leave, 99% of the time, I leave all of those kind of things for them. It's really funny. I had a track, it was called a Southern, Sinking Slowly in the South is the name of the title of the track. And it's just a acoustic guitar and then a slide melody that goes over the top. And it's been used so many times by American Greed, and they put crickets in there. They put crickets in it. And so I'm like, that's not in the track, but so they just add things to fit what they want, and maybe they'll add rain or something like that, or old school record sounds. But yeah, I don't add any of that to the tracks. Let them do that, and then just in case they don't want it, because they can't get it out if it's in the track, or they have to go find an alt. So I'd rather just leave it as it is and let them add their stuff. So good questions. Steve, guitar to preamp, crystal algae in the box, no latency issues. No, it seems fine. Yep, I'm just running straight into a preamp, then into the converter, and no latency issues at all. This computer's fairly decently fast. I have it set to about 512, and so that's fine for me. And I'm listening through the box. I'm not listening on my converter or on the preamp or anything. So no, it seems okay. Yeah. Yeah, good question. Which preamp? I'm running a Shadow on this track. I'm running a Shadow Hills Mono Gamma, and it is I think it's set on the nickel ion. So it's on the 500 series. It's pretty cool. So here I'll do a quick. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is that too small? I don't know. So yeah, so it's just running straight into that, to that. to this black Shadow Hills, and then I'm running out of that into the box. So that kind of helps. That's the good thing about having a portable little camera here. So, all right, keep going. I want to add some symbols. I'm hearing some symbols that are missing. Just some big hits. Now I could add this on the drum kit, but I want to do these big percussive epic stuff as much as I can. That's a cool one. I like that one. Those others here were just trying stuff. As I said, I'm going to drag these down to a so I can see them. Oops, wrong one. All right, cool. Let's add a little bit of verb to that one. Oh, it's in my bus. Cool. That's a bit better. I like that symbol. That's a big one. And those drums, that drum loop, I think is getting in the way. It's the real drums. I think there's a kick that's conflicting here somewhere. That's a problem too, but that's the kick not coming in there. See if we can get a cymbal in here. Yeah, great question, June. Yes, these videos, this is recording now, so I'm going to go through the whole process. We'll probably, oh wow, it's already 3:05. they normally take about an hour, hour and a half, and so I'm actually going to get into the mixing stage here really quick, and then kind of try and wrap this up, in the next 30 minutes. But normally, yes. So the first video is ready to go. You can watch that, and forever replays. You'll have a private link on YouTube, and then when I finish up here, I'll upload that to YouTube, and then you'll be ready to see the whole process. And yeah, so absolutely. So yeah. Yeah, lots to learn. That's right. And sometimes I just fly through things, and you're like, what was that? So and I'm creating things as I'm going. I'm hearing sounds and making. And I'm actually going to head into mixing pretty soon here. There's a couple of things I just want to wrap up. But then what I end up doing, just so that everyone knows, is I will mix it, and then I always come back with freshies. And it's kind of a little harder to mix with. Well, it's very hard to mix on headphones, especially when I'm used to mixing with my speakers. So there might even be a part 3 where it's like, I came back and listened, and I tweaked this and tweaked that, or but usually I go back and tweak it a couple of times. But these are the elements to make those epic tracks. So if you got to run, totally cool, and I'll see you in the replay for sure. So let's keep going here. I think I'm missing a kick there. All right, let's grab these big kicks that I like. Which one was it? Oh, I like that one. They look the same. Yeah, they are the same. I don't know what the deal is there. This is supposed to be stereo. Nope, they're exactly the same, so I don't need that one. No, I don't want the others either. I just want one. I just want that extra thump in there. Yeah, that's it. So just that extra thump. I might do it every time. I think that's it, just those two. Yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to double that, or triple it, quadruple it, a million times. What about we 30 it, whatever that is. Oh, needed more. Right, cool. All right, cool. Okay, so let's just delete that channel. Okay, so let's have a listen back, see if we have the cymbals and the swells I want. I wonder if I need a little bit more, or we just start heading into mixing. We definitely need a reverse cymbal there. So let's just do it old school way. Which cymbal do I like? I liked both of them. We're just going to reverse that. And we'll just copy this one over here. Yep, that's pretty cool. Let's see if that works. And we'll just bring that over here to the beginning where that first came in. See if it fits in here. Oh, wrong spot. All right, we need that other symbol there, that other reverse. Just going to copy that. And I think I'm going to add a ride or something in that next section. Might be too much. Actually, that's better. I wonder if it'll be too much. Yeah, too much. Too much to have symbols on all that. Yeah, great idea, Peter. Velocity ramp up on the rides to build up more. Absolutely, that's a great idea. Here's the idea. Here's the idea. So it's more going into more automation let's see. You can do it so many different ways. I would actually probably create that on a new track. Actually, I think it's okay if I create that on a new track and then just kind of keep building. That's a great. I really like that idea. I might come back to it though. See if I got the time to tweak each one, because you could totally do that. You could automate the volume on that. Absolutely. If I start, yeah, let's start it down here. Let's do it real quick. That. This definitely gives it a little bit more of a real feel. I'm just going to see how that goes. See if a snare fill works in here. I don't know if I'll, let me hear it without it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that snare fill. Very cool. All right, well, I think we're just gonna, for time-wise, let's just go ahead and mix what we got. We could keep adding bells and whistles all day long, absolutely. So we're just gonna see what we got. I'm just gonna clean things up a little bit, get rid of some stuff that's not, I'm not using right now. So we know what we got. Get rid of these guys. Nothing on this. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's do some mixing. Now I've been kind of mixing as we've gone. You're seeing kind of like just some few little things we've been doing as we go. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit. My ears are getting a little bit fatigued, especially in these headphones. But let's just have a look here. Let's keep going. let's add a little bit of reverb to that viola. Cool. Okay. Peter asks, are you going to pan the guitars and EQ them differently in the sides mode or the S mode, solo mode? I think you mean, maybe you mean solo. No, I don't do hardly anything when I'm mixing. I hardly do any soloing. If I solo, you see me solo, it's because I'm trying to listen. Is that the instrument that I'm hearing that I want to edit? I never mix EQ or anything in solo. I just want to, because I want to finish off with this finished product, and you just can't do that, because you just get, in the past I've spent hours on dialing in this sound, and then you open up the mix or you unsolo it and you're like, oh my goodness, it's too thick, it's too solid. Now it's getting in the way of the bass. So I always EQ, compress. I mix, and I never solo unless there's an issue. You've probably seen me only solo a handful of times so far, and it's just because I'm listening out for things or showing you guys some things. So good question. Let us keep going. I think I want something bigger at the beginning. All right, cool. So you heard me solo a bit there. I just want to make sure I got rid of that reverb. Gotta make sure these hits are tight. I do like the experience here. That's cool. That's nice. I like that. Okay, yeah, a couple of questions here. Do you bounce your drum kit out to separate tracks and mix as it was recorded live? No, I don't. You can do that, but the main reason I don't do that is I've gone ahead and added some. You can actually go in and with Addictive Drums, the cool thing about Addictive is you can go in and edit the stuff. If I'm hearing something I don't like, you can go in and edit stuff. But the option's there, but no, I don't. if you've got like a drum kit like Easy Drummer, then you kind of have to, you do have to kind of bounce things out separately. But no, the good thing about Addictive Drums is that if I'm hearing something, I can just go and dial in and EQ that. One of the things I did hear during the, when I was 20 minutes ago was that kick. I wanted to get this, I wanted to get a fatter kick. So I wanted to get this kick. So I wanted to add that in the mix. Instead of maybe EQing the other one, I just wanted to add a more of a thicker, different sound. So it brings in a different texture. I could have gone in maybe to Addictive Drums and EQ'd that to what I wanted. I could have added a bit more of whatever it was that I wanted, but I decided not to. I'm just going to add an extra sample. So good question. Gary says, do you find searching for things such as drum sounds, ear candy swells during the writing process helps your creativity? Or are there times where you would go to sounds you pull up as you need them? Yes, absolutely. I kind of just let it flow, I probably could have keep looking for another hour of getting really cool sounds and just kind of building up. But just for the sake of this video, I just want to kind of start heading into the mixing stage. But yeah, it's kind of all the above, you can just keep looking and keep looking for sounds. And so you saw me earlier when I found a cymbal I liked, even though I wasn't quite looking for that sound just then, I kept it. I was like, oh, I like that. That'll go good later on in the song. I like that. So I'll keep that. And I just bounced the cymbals down to, or just convert them down to audio so I can see them. You can see that that's a cymbal right there, and that has a crescendo or a crescendo, but then it has a tail on the end of it and that kind of thing. So yeah, good question. If you like the ear candy, save it and then keep looking for more, or keep looking for what you're going for. David says your Chris Lord algae input and outputs are in the red. Yes, absolutely. Great question, David. I've watched the tutorial by Chris Lord algae, and he said that the way that they've designed this from the analog modeling and all that kind of stuff is the harder you push it, the more distortion you're going to get inside the plugin, and it gets more of a nice warm sound. And yes, where is the 11 button? I needed to go to 11. Where is my 11? So yeah, so I've watched that's one thing I highly encourage everybody who, when you buy a plugin, watch the tutorial. Watch if you can get the actual person who designed it. They're going to give you a bunch of little, like, their insight of how they've designed it and how they say to use it. And it's really cool because they'll tell you, like, if I just solo this now, you can hear this. Hopefully you can hear it through the Zoom, but you can hear the difference when it's down here. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but let's go to a bit more of an open section. So yes, so the more warm it is, the more red it is. It's a good distortion that they've built in this based off the analog stuff. So it's not a bad distortion. Otherwise, yeah, you won't see any red clips down here. If there is, I got to fix them and address something. So that's my master chain. So yeah, obviously, most of the time when you see red, it's like it's a red flag, but punt fully intended. But in that case, if you watch I highly encourage anybody to, when you buy a plugin, go to the manufacturer and just watch the 10-minute tutorial on the guy telling you who made it, telling you how he designed it to be used, because there's so many different ways. And obviously with Chris Lord algae, they designed to put it on the actual track. Don't put it on as he didn't design it to put it on as something else. He designed to put it on the track. And so you start there and see how you go, and then you can tweak and do whatever you want. And I'm still looking for that 11. Where's my 11? No, actually, if you guys can see clearly, it says -11. That's the wrong way, I guess. So I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to try and keep moving along, but I keep, when you're having fun, you just can't stop. So I'm actually just going to put another filter on this. So this loop here, I'll just solo both so you can kind of hear it. I just put an EQ on it. So it's kind of like that telephone effect. Nothing. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we're really kind of getting there now. Let's just have a look and listen to the drums here. What I've done is something called parallel compression or parallel squashing. So on the drums here, I've got an extra drum. It's listening to all the drums, but then it's squashing it, and I've got it turned right down. This is a great little tip for anybody who's really want it, just that punchy kind of sound. This is really, really kind of cool. So let's go to a part of the song where it's big. Oops. So you'll hear there, what that's done is we've got the regular drums coming through this channel, but then the next one we've got this parallel compression, or that's technically what it's called, parallel compression, but I'm calling it parallel squashing. So because that's a horrible thing. If you just solo that, you'll hear it. Oh. Very harsh, very just crazy, just crazy. So I turn that down till I can't hear it. Then I turn it up till I can hear it, and I find a common ground where it just really adds. And then when it's not, you'll see me do this here. So yeah, so I'm not too worried about all the attack. It's kind of a trick that they do, 10 to 2, and they just put the all on and just squash it. So it's just kind of like that. You know, I've got it turned down so low that you actually can't even hardly hear it, but you can hear it when it's not in there. That's the sound I want. All right, cool. So let's just move that in a little bit more, maybe. Maybe down a little bit lower. Maybe it's already in there. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. We'll see what we think on a fresh listen tomorrow morning. Yep. Yes, very cool. Very cool way to kind of like lo-fi. I'd actually probably say just squash, just to squash, and just it creates this, like you've got your drums here, and then it kind of creates this fatness underneath the drums. That's kind of like you can just hear it's just not as punchy when you when it's kind of a trick they've been using forever. It's yeah, it's I didn't invent that one, that's for sure. I didn't invent it. Okay, cool. So I think we're getting there. So we've I think that I'm happy with the drums. Let's just have a look at some of the compression on the regular one. All right, so now we're getting to those guitars. Let's go down to the mix now. For anybody who's wondering what's going on with my signal chain, I've got everything following. All the green ones are on my buses or my auxiliary. So we've got drums, we've got parallel drums or drum squashing, then we've got strings, electric guitar, and then everything gets filed from there into the mix. So then from the mix, this is my main mix, and then I just do a tiny little bit more overall EQing maybe, and a little bit more with another plugin that I'll talk about in a second. Then I go to the mastering chain. So so I think I'm happy with the drums now. So all right, so I'm pretty happy with the mix for now. And as I said, I do want to kind of keep wrapping up. And it's these. I know that these headphones are not telling me everything I need to hear on the proper speaker. So I'm going to kind of start wrapping it up and do like a master. Go through the steps of what I do. But I know that I'm going to have to come back a couple of times to tweak stuff, maybe add a few stuff. But so this is what I'll do with my mastering chain. So I'm happy with that. That mix there, the summing that all up into a stereo mix. Another one here, this is a great one here. I put this on my mix buzz. You can drive it a little bit more, you can add a little bit more treble, a little bit more bass. It's kind of an overall mix down kind of thing. The harder you drive it, the more warmth it is a little bit again. And I don't go any more than minus 3. I don't want to do too much here. I want this song, I want a lot of distortion and drive. So I'm cranking that up. But anyway, so yeah, so those are kind of like that. That's what that is. So now just going to the mastering chain. I could go back and pull down some of those percussive big tom fill things, but I'm going to go through and just edit that here and just see how that kind of sounds here. And that's around about 40, 47. And then I go through. Actually, that's usually on the other side here. From my mastering, this is a great little. I've been using it for a while. I bought it just to kind of show some people how easy it is to do a simple kind of foolproof master, and it's so easy that it just works, and so I just use this all the time. I have a setting that I've already dialed in. It's called Steve Start. So if you have this plugin, take a screenshot of that, and that's kind of like where I start. I have a mono maker here. And then we have the stereo enhancer there about at 34%. And just remember, when you get to the mastering stage, you want to do small amounts. You don't want to be doing big amounts. So you'll find that my compressors aren't working that hard, and I'm not doing much with EQ. So as we finish up this as we get this mastered. So I like doing this. This dangerous EQ is really cool because you can cut out from 12 hertz down, and you can cut from 70 hertz up. And so you're just like getting a little bit more bandwidth out of your EQ, because no one can hear up there around the 70K. No one can hear below 12. You can't even hear below. You can't even hear higher than 20, and you can't hear below 12 or even 60, 55, 60. So I just cut those out, and sometimes I boost a little bit of the mid-range, but not always. At the moment, I don't think we're going to do anything with that. I will come back tomorrow with fresh ears and hear it. But so far, yeah. So, and then that's the dangerous mix there, and then we're going to go to our limiter. Peter says, here's a question. It's being bypassed though, isn't it? Yeah, I've bypassed it right now, but yeah, I go backwards and forwards, like from bypass to here. If am I doing anything? Am I making it better or making it worse? So, yeah, so it goes in and out. Peter says, just interested, if you sprained your wrist playing golf, and couldn't play guitar, what keyboard only version would you do? Possible. You could totally do hybrid. If you're not doing if you don't want to do any guitars, or if you don't do guitars, you just do a hybrid. Just do pianos, or just orchestral with drums, and that's getting straight into the kind of the trailer word. You don't even need any electric guitars. Or you could just get some samples of electric guitars and just have some of those gritty dun, 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 sporadic throughout when they come in, dun, dun, and just incorporate that into your piece for sure. They're non-melodic. Would you use splice guitar samples using? Yeah, I think you could. Yep, absolutely. Yep, totally. Yeah, good call. Okay, so we're at the final stages of this is the very last thing you want to put on your signal chain. It has dithering here. I'm going to keep it at 24, so that's fine. But the main thing you want to make sure is that you've got a good level. You're going to make sure this is not at 0, but just go as close to 0 as you can. Here you can go 0.1 or minus 0.1, I should say. And then I'm just going to pull this down. I don't want any more than 3 dB of gain reduction. Down here it says I've already hit 4.2. I know I moved it, but I'm going to be watching this number here. I don't want to go any more than 3. because I'm just doing the final stages. And if I'm here, if I have to push it to get loud, then that means there's certain frequencies that are just sticking out of the mix, and I need to go back and address them. Instead of maybe just addressing the frequencies, I have the luxury to go, because I'm doing all this in one session, I have the luxury to find that instrument, whether it's that guitar or whatever, and then pull that guitar down manually back at the source. So that's something I really like, that option to be able to do that. It just gives you so much options. So let's have a listen now. So we're really getting close now. I'm just going to switch to mono on my system. I don't know if it's not going to change your, I know it's not going to change what you're hearing, but I'm just going to hear it in mono. There's a lot going on here. I have to take a little bit of time to craft this out. I'm not hearing the strings as clear as I want, but let me have some. Let's wrap this up. My ears, I need a break. So, all right, let's just have a listen to this last part. All right, so where do we start? Might just make this a little late. Yeah, it's a bit better. All right, let's mix down first mix out of probably 3 or 4. I'll go one more. There we go. All right, let's bounce this one down. I'm going to keep it 24. I'm going to add an MP3 just so I can kind of hear it as it would be, as it's, yeah, anyway, so I got it there so I can listen on any device, whatever. Epic rock track. This is where I like to give a title. You know, you can do, there's so many different ways to kind of write your title or decide when you're going to do your title. I kind of like to do it at the end. The track often tells me what it wants to be called, and so then I'll kind of like you know, it's sounding very strong to me, so I'm kind of like thinking something with strong in it, you know, superseded, or but I want sports in there, so something, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of a name. Maybe maybe underfish, undefeated, undefeated, home run. I like it, love it. Great, yep, great idea. Home run would be a great one. I don't know, I'm getting a bit of a blank now. I'm just going to call it undefeated. I kind of like that. I like that. Undefeated. Mix one. So there we go. So bounce that down. There we go. We have a song. We are about there. So we have a song that needs a little bit of tweaking, you know, a couple more edits. But we have an asset there, something that we can now send off to our publisher and do it all again. Do it all again. You know, it's a big track. It's a very big track, meaning it's big sounding. You know, so it's something that it's fun to do. You know, I want to buy another. I got to look into some more string libraries. I want to do some more string library stuff where it's you know, even more busy with those strings. Those strings are very simple, and this song's heavily relied on those guitars. The guitar lines are the big things, and then the violin stuff and all the strings is a little bit buried back. But you can actually do a flip flop and make it more. You know, I don't think my sample libraries, and I didn't tweak them as much in the strings to be able to hold on their own. So that's why I kind of balanced it a little bit that way, where it's a bit more of the guitars. And I don't mind doing that as well, because, you know, I'm a guitarist. So if I was a violin player, it'd definitely be the other way. So awesome, guys. So let's flip this camera and I'll answer a couple more questions. There we go. We are back. So I see we still have a lot of people here. So good. So I didn't bore you too much. Peter says, did part one only take you about 90 minutes you videotaped, or had you played that before? No, I think part one is about an hour. So it takes me about an hour to create all those parts. Keep in mind too, that I've been doing this so long. So it's like the guitar parts, it took me a long time, but you know, I got to the stage where they're not out of time too bad. And you'll see me there. I record the parts right there. So you'll see the whole process. It's really fascinating because you'll get to just watch it through. You know, if you're a piano player, you know, after a while of doing so many tracks, if you're a violin, trumpet player, you get to play the instrument so you can nail it first time. Hopefully, you know, not always. You'll see me make lots of mistakes, but as close as you can to kind of get to nail it. So then you're making the decisions from the beginning. So then when you get to the mixing stuff, you're not like, oh, what should I do? You're kind of like, you're even from the beginning, you know, when I'm like doing these kind of guitar sounds and picking the sounds, I'm like, that's the sound I want. I'm not going to change much. That's the decision I'm making. We are going there, and I'm not really going to look back unless I hear something wrong. So most of the time when I'm mixing, another word for mixing is correcting what's wrong, like oh, that frequency is too loud, or I shouldn't have done that. And you saw me delete a couple of things or mute a few things, and just you move things around, and you constantly, it just makes it a little quicker. So, but as I said, I've been doing this. The first one I did, and in the first part one video, you'll see I have the template up, which it takes you a couple of days. This is probably about the 4th or 5th one I've done of these, and so it took me a couple of 2 or 3, maybe 2, to get the template of all the tracks I wanted and have everything there. So it kind of took me a little bit. So Peter asked, so the entire track with mixing will be about 4 hours? Yeah, probably about that, maybe a little under, I don't know, somewhere around that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. And with these rock tracks, drums, guitars, strings, and percussion. There's only like 4 instruments. Of course, we're layering stuff and adding extra stuff, but it's basically only like 4-ish kind of sounds there. So it's not too much to work on. And one of the things I want to encourage everybody to, when you're creating these songs, it's knowing how to arrange things. Like I say this a lot, but you got your whole frequency range. You've got like from 20 hertz all the way down to 60. Create parts that fill up that section. Like, as I said, I made a decision at the beginning, no bass in this one. I want those big percussive hits to just have all that space down there. Great. So then that's like, let's just say that's 0 to 300 hertz. I know there's a lot of crossover. So from 300, I want the guitars to be rocking and maybe some cello in that. So that's, let's just say 3 to 1K. And then from 1K, I want the cymbals or maybe high-end strings, and then and then maybe and then from 4 or 5K upwards, we've got cymbals and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that everything's full, and that's why it maybe sounds full, because I create all the things. I didn't add an extra bass line and then do an extra bass thing down on the guitar, and then add a cello doing something down here. You don't need it. It's all going to get in the way, and then there's a lot of battle you have to do to try and make everything be heard. So I just kind of like moving that, and that's the arrangement I'm thinking. So good question there. Peter asked, chord wise, was there a B section quarterly on this one? No, I think this is pretty much just a few riffs. It's an ABA form. Yep, totally standard ABA form. There is an A, B, and then a B.2, which is that dun 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 dun. That part in there. If you want, let's just play the whole thing from the top one more time, and then you'll hear the different sections in there. Oh, I have to share it. I don't know. Do you guys want to hear it again? We've heard it a lot. Yes, no. It's definitely an. Let me know if you want me to play it again from top. Otherwise, I know my ears I've heard it too many times already. So, all right, yes. All right. Here we go. We'll play it from the top. All right. go. So yeah, you'll see there's an A section, a B section, which is just that D chord ringing out, and then it's like with the there's no chord progression. I wouldn't even say there's a progression in this whole song. It's like riff, don't. It's got just droning D over the whole thing. It's in drop D, so it's like dun, and yeah, so it's got this. I wouldn't even say there's a chord progression at all. It's kind of like you know, it's just D, the riff, so it's got that riff in there, but that's about it. And then there's that A section, then a B section, then a B.2, which is everything drops out, and then I've just got that a filter on it, and then back to the A section, and into the ending. That's really it. It's about 1:46, I believe. So it's right around that mark. Yep. Plenty of time, done, you know, in and out. There's your cue length, you know, 1:30-ish. It needed that stab at the end, dun. And so I was happy with that, whatever length that was, you know, around that 1:30. Okay, we're heading into 1:40. Okay, that's fine, whatever. That little extra part in the beginning, not the beginning, that middle section where it goes dun, 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 dun. I don't know. It's hit or miss, you know. It's like not going to break the song, but it's like, I don't know. It's already, and then now it's decided, you know, I don't know. Listening back now, I'm like, could have maybe done without it. It's in there now. I'm not going back. So, but other than that, that's the track wrapped up. And, you know, just listening to it again on these speakers, I can hear the guitars are too loud in my opinion. So I'm like, okay, that might be the first thing I have to do. And then also I'm listening through the Zoom. I'm not listening through my proper converter. So I know I need to listen proper through my converter, not through Zoom. You can definitely hear it, you know, after you tune your room in and tune your ears, and you can hear there's a difference. So I'm not clearly hearing it through the Zoom portal. But anyway, so other than that, you know, the song's placeable, absolutely. It's another track, you know, so awesome, guys. Well, any more last questions before I let you go? I know we've been going for about a couple of hours here, so sure has been fun, that's for sure. Any last questions? If not, I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon and wonderful rest of your day. This has been so much fun hanging out with you all, and you'll get the I'll upload the links to the site, to the groups, and then you guys can watch these over and over again and pause and then take screenshots of the plugin settings and see if that works for you as a starter, and then tweak from there. And yeah, go for it, and always ask me any questions. I'm totally here to help. You know, I always say this, but you know, it's about chasing the quality, like constantly getting better and better and better. But then it's also about quantity, creating lots of tracks. You know, is this track the best track I've ever made? No. Is this track placeable? Yes. So that's great. Let's go ahead and do it all again. Let's go ahead and do it all again. Epic sports rock is a little bit new for me. So doing all those strings and those big percussion, it's gonna take me, I don't know, this is about the 5th or 6th one I've done. I would be, by about 20th time, I bet you I'll have that dialed in more of the of all those low frequencies, because I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to really work on some of those big hits to make them, give them that trailerish kind of sound. So but anyway, there's nothing stopping us from doing it, right? Woohoo! Awesome. All right, well, I'll let you all go. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys in the chat. All right, later.